So Huda just dropped her foundation. Are you gonna buy it? Finally here. If you are a fan of her and her Instagram and her makeup line, then you have probably been sitting there like, when is it coming out? Girl. Yes, I've been waiting for this foundation for forever. Okay, I really have, and I'm so happy it was here. Fenty was an utter disappointment for me. I know so many other people like live by it, would probably name their children Fenty, I don't know, but I just could not get down with their foundations. But I think this might be a game changer for me. So Huda Beauty just came out with their first foundation. They released 30 shades, and Huda was very specific about what shades she wanted to release, and she even took to Snapchat because she was upset because when Sephora first originally posted her range, they only included the medium and light shades. So it's nice to see that Sephora does have all the colors in her launch, her first foundation launch. When I find that my color is directly in the middle of a shade range, then I usually know that they have pretty good color selections. Now, for her first launch, she came out with 30 different shades, which was really, really good. But as you know, when a company first releases or launches a foundation, they usually start off with a minimum amount of shades just to see how it does. Then as time goes on, they can add new colors as they see people are needing or requesting it. So for her to come out with 30 colors was a good sign for me. A lot of people now are stuck on this whole 40. I call it the Fenty 40. Fenty was not the first one to have 40 shades, just saying. So first and foremost, let's talk about the price. This is going to cost you $40 for 1.18 fluid ounces. So you're getting 0.18 ounces or fluid ounces above the standard amount of foundation that you receive. Now, on the Sephora website, the description of this product was very confusing because they first initially said that it was medium coverage for all skin types and that it's a natural finish, but then when you read the description, it says that it is full coverage. I say that this is a medium buildable to full coverage and that Sephora needs to update their information because it is not consistent and it is incorrect. So boo to Sephora for their description. Now, this is the packaging, and I can honestly say I like the packaging, but I also hate the packaging. I feel that it feels so cheap. It's made of plastic and not even a good plastic. Like, I know other companies that use plastic, like Makeup Forever. Their packaging is plastic. Becca, their packaging is plastic, but it feels good. This feels like a bad plastic. Like, this is what I would expect a drugstore foundation to feel like, but girl, change your packaging. So as far as packaging goes, I give it a big old thumbs down. So with Huda Beauty, they have 3 different types. They have beige, which I'm going to assume is for the cool toned ladies. They have G, which is for the golden tone ladies like me. And then they have neutral, which is our neutral tones. Let's just go in and you can see my application. So first, let's start by priming my face. And I'm going to use the primer that I normally always use, which is the Makeup Forever Step 1. So the next step is I'm going to take the Huda Beauty foundation. Now I am using the color 410 Golden. I had a little bit of difficulty choosing my color, but whatever. So I'm just going to use 1 pump to start with. So this is brand new. So that's how much I'm going to use. And I'm going to apply this with a brush. And this side has just a little bit more hyperpigmentation, so we'll really see if it covers, this foundation dries very fast, so you're going to want to work in little sections. But I can say the coverage is decent. Okay, I'm going to do a dot on my forehead, on my nose. And this is the coverage that I got with just one pump of foundation. And I still have some left. But so far, so good. So I still have some on the palette, so I'm just going to take whatever's left and do some spot concealing, which I don't really feel like I need all that much. But this is definitely a medium full coverage foundation. So this is what I have so far. As far as the color to my skin, it's a little bit darker, and it does to me oxidize just a little bit. But it's doable. When I watched her do her makeup on her, I think her Snapchat, she used a color that was like a smidge darker. I think she used 420, and so I thought that would be a perfect match. But I'm so happy I did get the 410, because compared to my neck, this is like just about matching. So that was my application. As you can see, you only need the littlest amount. One pump did my whole face, and I feel like I got pretty fantastic coverage. It doesn't feel heavy at all, but I will have to say I did have to set it with a powder. It didn't feel set until I put powder on top of it. So this is something that you're going to have to set. So far, I feel like this has not settled into any of my fine lines. It hasn't sunken into my pores. It's just giving me that, vibe that I wish Fenty would have gave me, because Fenty was like all up in my pores. It was just all up in my pores. But this, you know how your foundation looks good and you have to do that face like the, I call it my Instagram face. I know. Don't judge me. So now I'm going to head to the city, and I'm just going to check back in with you when I get back, so you can just see how this foundation lasted. Once again, I did place this on about an hour to 2 hours ago. So I plan to check back in around, what time is it now? Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 2:53 p.m.
So I'll check back in around 10 o'clock, so you can at least see about 8 hours of wear on this foundation. But so far, I like it. So we have been rocking this foundation since about 1:30ish, we'll say 2 o'clock. It has been exactly 8 hours, actually a little bit over, close to 9 hours. Let's find out from Alexa what time it is. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 10:04 p.m.
So it's 10 o'clock. So all in all, I've had this foundation on for an 8-hour shift, and I would have to say that I freaking love it. Some things that I like about this foundation is I find that it didn't settle in my fine lines. It didn't sink into my pores. It didn't break up, except for in this one little circle here where I had, and you can see, let me turn it off. It does transfer. This is not transfer proof. This is the only thing that I did not like about this foundation, but you did see that it did come off in this area where I had my phone resting on my cheek, so I left that there for you on purpose. So it's not transfer proof, but it does last very, very well. Some other things that I noticed that I liked about it is it didn't break apart, except for on my nose. I have a freckle, or I have freckles on my nose. I don't know if anyone knows that, but I am able to see my freckles where they were more hidden, but I'm just used to that. But other than that, there's like nothing bad I can say about this foundation. like, especially this side. This is the side that I don't talk on my phone with. It looks perfect. It looks just like it did when I first applied my foundation. So I'm very happy about this, and I haven't blotted or anything. So, and I do have hyperpigmentation. There was no color correcting, no concealer really, except for where I highlighted and where I did a little bit of my contour. I just can't say anything bad about this foundation. This is what I wish the Fenty foundation would have been. I had so many people give me high hopes. I watched so many reviews. I bought the Fenty foundation and was utterly disgusted with it. So, you know, it is what it is. So if you have not taken this time out, subscribe. Like, let's be friends. Let's talk, okay? And number 2, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them down below. I do try my hardest to get back to everyone, but you know how it be, but I try. So if you don't know our slogan, it's be your own version of beautiful, because if you don't do that, you're never going to be happy. Let's just face it. But bye guys.